Hi everyone! Today we are going to finish reading The Rough-Faced Girl, and to remind you what happened yesterday, the rough-faced girl is going to try and find the invisible being because she would like to marry him, and she said that she knows what his face looks like. So we're going to find out if the rough-faced girl actually does marry the invisible being because she's able to identify him to his sister. So we'll find out today. At last she came to the lake shore just as the sun was sinking behind the hills, and the many stars came glittering out like a fiery veil in the darkening sky overhead. And there, standing by the water's edge, was the sister of the invisible being, waiting. Now the sister of the invisible being was a wise woman. When she looked at you, she didn't see just your face or your hair or clothes. No, when she looked at you, she would look you right in the eyes, and she could see all the way down to your heart. And she could tell if you had a good, kind heart or a cold, hard, and cruel one. And when she looked at the rough-faced girl, she saw at once that, though her skin was scarred, her hair burnt, her clothes strange, she had a beautiful, kind heart. And so she welcomed her dearly, saying, "Ah, my sister, why have you come?" And the rough-faced girl replied, "I have come to marry the invisible being." "Ah," said the sister very gently now, "if you want to marry him, you have to have seen him. Tell me, have you seen my brother, the invisible being?" And the rough-faced girl said, "Yes." "All right then," said the sister, "if you've seen him, tell me, what's his bow made of?" And the rough-faced girl said, "His bow? Why, it is the great curve of the rainbow." "Ah," exclaimed the sister in excitement. "Tell me," she asked, "if you have seen my brother, the invisible being, what's the runner of his sled made of?" And the rough-faced girl, looking up into the night sky, said, "The runner of his sled? Why, it is the spirit road, the Milky Way of stars that spreads across the sky." "Ah," cried the sister in wonder and delight, "you have seen him. Come with me." And taking the rough-faced girl by the hand, she led her back to the great wigwam and sat her in her seat next to the entrance, the wife's seat. Then they heard footsteps coming along the path, closer and closer. The entrance flap of the wigwam lifted up, and in stepped the invisible being. And when he saw her sitting there, he said, "At last, we have been found out." Then, smiling kindly, he added, "And oh, my sister, but she is beautiful." And his sister said, "Yes." The sister of the invisible being then gave the rough-faced girl the finest of buckskin robes and a necklace of perfect shells. "Now bathe in the lake," she said, "and dress in these." So the rough-faced girl bathed in the waters of the lake. Suddenly, all the scars vanished from her body. Her skin grew smooth again, and her beautiful black hair grew in long and glossy as a raven's wing. Now anyone could see that she was, indeed, beautiful. But the invisible being and his sister had seen that from the start. Then, at last, the rough-faced girl and the invisible being were married. They lived together in great gladness, and were never parted. The end. So I want you to think today how the rough-faced girl is similar to all the other versions of Cinderella that we've read so far. So to remind you, we have read the classic version of Cinderella that takes place in France, Cendrillon, which is a version of Cinderella that takes place in the Caribbean. This week we read Bigfoot Cinderella that takes place in the forest, and then the rough-faced girl. And I would love you just to think about how the rough-faced girl is similar to and different from those wow, Miss Stamos is tripping over her words this morning. Those other words. Oh my gosh, those other books. Okay, wow. If I was in front of you all right now, I would say, "Tell me to wake up," and you'd all say, "Wake up, Miss Stamos." We're having one of those days. We're going to keep going, and there's some questions for you, so you can answer those questions today. They're on the website, and they're also in our remote learning schedule. And I will have another story for you on Monday. All right, see you later.